Well, good morning. Thank you all for joining us. Proud to be joined by Councilmember Mark Kersey, who you all know, and of course Phil Pace, the great Phil's Barbecue. We're here today with a very direct message that San Diego is ready to safely reopen. We're here at a great restaurant that I think most San Diegans are very familiar with. They've been doing a great job of takeout over the last several months. But inside, you will clearly see the preparations that not only Phil's has done, but restaurants all across San Diego that are ready to safely reopen. Not how things used to be normally, but in a new normal with physical distancing, increased sanitation, all of the things, as I said, employee training that are ready to reopen and to reopen safely. And so we have a very united message as we have been working over the last several weeks. Our Economic Recovery Advisory Group, comprised of small businesses, comprised of restaurants, we have put in place the policies and procedures to protect employees and to protect customers. Our San Diego restaurants and our small businesses are ready to go. And we're sending a very clear and direct message to Sacramento and to the governor. Give San Diego the local control to be able to reopen safely. We have taken the precautions. You will see inside all of the steps to keep people safe and to keep our economy functioning. And so I'm going to turn it over to Phil here in just a second. We're going to have the opportunity to walk inside to see that new normal, again, with one goal: keeping folks safe, both employees and customers. And I would say that at the time that Phil's has been open for the last couple months of takeout, doing a remarkable job of showing how it's supposed to be done. And I think you'll see that when we go inside here. And with that, first I'll turn it over to the council member for this district, Councilmember Mark Kersey. Mark?
Well, thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. Thank you, Phil, for having us here. You know, this has been a great addition to the Rancho Bernardo community, having a Phil's Barbecue here ever since it opened 6 or 7 years ago now. And it's pretty routine pre-COVID to see the line out the door, people waiting to get in. And, you know, I think we're at a point right now where public health is obviously the biggest concern. But knowing that it's going to take months, if not a year or more, to get a vaccine, and knowing that testing obviously has to continue, tracing has to continue, we have to switch to the point where we're managing COVID rather than just saying everybody's just going to stay locked up in their homes indefinitely until we get a vaccine. And so the public health being the biggest concern, you're going to see on the tour, and you're going to hear from Phil in a second, the steps that they're taking to allow safe re-entry into their restaurant. And it'll be different. It's not going to be the same experience, and individual customers will determine whether that's something they're comfortable with or not. But I think that there are ways that we can manage this process, do so in a safe way, and be mindful of both the public health and the need to get people back to work again. So with that, I look forward to seeing more, look forward to working with our restaurant community, indeed all of our small businesses, on how we can get them back in business, and I just want to thank them all for their perseverance as we get through all this. Thank you.
Bill, can you move the mic over 1 foot because of the branches?
Where you want to go?
No. The shadows are messy. I was wondering if we can move over 1 inch.
Right here. Whoa. It's starting to sink down a little bit. Okay. Whoa. All right. Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm very proud to be the one to choose, or the chosen one to be able to show you exactly what we have been doing for the last 2 months. Just to give you some numbers, my 2 restaurants, Santee and Point Loma, in the sports arena area, you have served close to 150,000 people. And we have not one employee that has gotten sick. Not one has shown any symptoms. We follow the rules. Employees call with a headache, stay home for 24 hours. We're on that side of caution every minute of the day. So as I say that, I knock on wood. But being the owner of Phil's Barbecue, I mean, this global pandemic, we have had to go 100% takeout in my company. And it's difficult. It's very stressful for a lot of my employees to obtain that difference in what we do. And it's a lot more service. Bagging the food, and it just takes a lot of phone calls coming in. So our number one priority, of course, is our customers and our employees. We want to be able to make sure that is done correctly. So throughout practicing and what we've been doing for the last few months has put us at what our scientists and what our governor has said, let's flatten the line. I think Phil's Barbecue has flattened that line. We've flattened that curve to be able to serve our customers as best as we possibly can and safely. So when it does come to a time of reopening, we'll be ready. We'll be ready. So hopefully the governor will be able to take a good look at what we're trying to do. And I do stress that we're not putting profits over people's lives. Okay? We love this business. I love the employees that work for me. We should be able to put them back to work safely. And that is the word, safely. So, and I'm urging the governor to give us a local government authority. Give us that authority. Give the mayor the authority to be able to make these decisions when our line has been flattened, so we can get our restaurants back open. So all I can say is thank you to everyone, county supervisors, the mayor. Thank you for standing behind us. And we're not the only ones. We're doing this not just for the restaurant business, we're doing it for the retail industry, showing that the governor that we can really maintain safety among the service so we can put people back to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. I think we'll do a tour, but before do any questions before? Yes, go ahead.
I have a question. In terms for smaller restaurants, let's say taco shops, where there's just a couple tables, how will it look like for them? Do they just
Yeah, it's
do
what
takeout, or-
what you're going to see inside here is the same philosophy for restaurants both big and small, which is very clear entrance and exits, how you're going to redo table seatings, all of the different physical distancing, as I said, with one goal: protect customers and to protect employees. And what you're also going to see is a lot of thought that's been putting into our restaurants over the last several months. We're ready to go. They've been doing a remarkable job at takeout, but it's time to get people back to work. Get people back to work in a safe, sanitary, clean, and an environment that is going to protect people's health.
And what's the difference? Because I mean, at a normal restaurant before, they're saying tables were still wiped and clean before
Yeah.
the next guest.
I think-
So what's going to be the difference?
Yeah, I think when we go inside, you'll see some of the new precautions. And in terms of particularly how the tables are going to be set up, how the physical distancing. Again, this is about a new normal, but a new normal that San Diego is ready to achieve. Our small businesses are ready to achieve and to open up. Our small businesses need to get people back to work. And so all of the preparations that we have been doing over the last several weeks, all of the policies and the procedures, a very important vote tomorrow at the County Board of Supervisors, which I am in support of 100%, to give us some realistic metrics to allow San Diego to have that local control to put people back to work and to put people back to work safely. Yeah, we'll do that too. We'll take, how do you want to work it? How many folks at a time? Both, whatever you want. We'll do it after.
If we've had an employee that has been asymptomatic, I think we would have had an employee get sick, show all the symptoms. I'm not much of a believer in the basics of a virus. I'm more into the herd immunity type of situation. the world I grew up in the 60s, in the early 70s. But we will safely, take these temperatures of our employees. We will have the guns, be able to check and make sure. But the asymptomatic is a situation that's going to be very tough for us to try to figure out. I'm 59 years old. I have been around all of my guests through all these months and have not shown one symptom of it. So, and I've got other employees of a certain age too. So it's really tough. You do have a good point, but we've got to start. We've got to start somewhere. Not just the idea of starting the businesses back up, but be able to start finding out how we're all reacting to asymptomatic people and to the virus itself.
Have you considered having your employees just take a test now since there's more testing available?
Yes, yeah,
And
we
just take it and see
absolutely. We don't have a problem right now. My employees, we called back over 200 employees to come back since we opened up this store. We're basically back into management and hourly style of operation. And our employees, the first thing they ask, do you want us to have a test? We ask them, what have your symptoms been? What's going on? Go out and test. But if we have to go out and tell every employee that they need to do a test, we'll do that.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay? Just like they do at Walmart and all of our other big box places right now, including Home Depot. If we follow the rules, we'll probably have someone here, standing here, to make sure people truly understand what the expectations are when they arrive at the restaurant and when they enter. As you look through here, we've had these social distancing for months. So when people form a line, they're 6 feet apart. But as you walk through to the restaurant, we have lines here which will specify if you're going to take your food to go, to our left, and here to the right. We can specify if you're dining, if you're going to be able to dine in. We've considered some areas here, what I call hot spots, touch points. We will have one employee that'll be walking around with a spray bottle, touching all these hot spots, making sure that the areas the customers continuously touch will be continuously clean. If a customer wants to sanitize their hand, during their entry into the building, we have sanitizer stations. We have a hand station here on that side. We have a hand sanitizer on this side. Commercial grade. So when the customer comes in, they know what they're going to do. They stand here in line, and then they're called to the front counter. And when they're called to the front counter, they approach the counter, and then they place their order.
Let us stay close now. Let's get a wipe on this. Hold on. Yeah, can you hold up the wipe?
Without yours.
Got it? Yeah, Blake.
We all good, guys?
Got it? Got it, guys, you good?
So as the customer approaches the counter, as you notice that we have the plastic plexiglass screen to help keep any type of bacteria, virus to go through. Customer places their order. They pay with their credit card. They touch their own credit card. We do not touch their credit card. It goes into the machine. We have another touch point. There'll be someone here cleaning the touch points. Customer comes up and touches the counter. They'll clean the counter. They'll clean the credit card machine. Customer comes up here. After they've gotten their order in, they get a receipt. Then they have the option to sit anywhere in the dining room. And on the floor, we've done a path of travel. Okay? So on the floor, it says an exit that way and an exit this way. Customer will be instructed to actually pay attention to these arrows. And let's just say the customer decides to dine on this side of the restaurant. They would come through here. They would come through here and choose a table. Each table will have a message on it if the table is either clean or still dirty and it hasn't been sanitized. Like this table here says, this table has not been cleaned or sanitized. Please wait for our team member. The customer comes in and sits down at a clean table. Just like the folks that we're doing right here. And before that, they sit down, they will notice masks would always be worn except for eating or drinking to minimize the contact to our team members, regularly be checking their customers during their meals. If they require any at all, please flag down one of our team members. Also, too, we do have boxes of face masks. So if a customer does arrive and they do not have a face mask, we will give them. Practice social distancing, and at the end it says thank you for coming. So as a customer is dining, and they have a beverage, so they take the beverage cup is set here. There is no more self-service soda. A team member will come over and take that soda cup, ask the guests what kind of soda they would like, and they would walk over to here. And the team members will show you how it will be done. Okay. That's good. But anyhow, so the team member will actually take the soda back to the guest and put it on the table. The customer would be told, yes, there's refills, but what we do is when a customer asks for a refill, we take the empty cup, we dispose of the cup, and then the team member will actually get another soda cup and refill it and give it back to the guest. So limit the touch. Okay. Let me know when you guys want to stop. So there will not be any clearing of the tables. There will not be any clearing of the tables during the process of a customer eating to actually keep the employee away from the guest as much as possible. So when the guests leave, then we will actually pre-bus the table. I'm sorry, we will actually take when the customer leaves the table, then we will clear the table and then sanitize and then have it ready for the next guest. We have a touch point of the customer touching the chair. Bus boys will also clean the tops of the chairs.
You had a question about that earlier. That was your
And also at the same time of service, a guest will be given a cutlery package which will contain salt, pepper, napkin, fork, and a knife and a spoon. If the guest prefers, they can bring their own silverware. Just take it back home with you. So when the guest is finished, we also here, if you notice on the floor, we have the path of travel. So from here, they get up and they leave, and they look at the exit signs, and they exit to the right. To keep the guests from having contact with customers waiting to place orders.
So Phil, with these booths, are all of them going to be open? There's going to be every other booth.
Yes, yeah. Also, too, with the booth sitting, there will be every other booth. As you can see, we took the tables out because sometimes the sign just doesn't work. So the booths that have tables will be the ones that customers can sit at.
Another 30 seconds, guys, and then switch.
We'll go back.
Do it again.
Do it again.
You guys have to
Give us a couple more seconds.